Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Monroe 1v1, and today you're watching some Portal 2 on the PC. I think that's the only place that they have it. So I skipped all the boring parts and went straight to the fun part, the puzzles, which is my favorite part of any game, is, outthinking the game developers. But I'm sure that they made it so that way the average person can do them. And I've already beaten the game before, so the last time I played the game was back in 2013, 14, somewhere in there. So there's been at least a 5-year gap between me playing this game then and now. I thought about Portal 3 and I looked up when it's coming, and I don't see any specific news about it. So that sucks. And I also wanted to state that if you're coming to my channel for the first time, thank you for watching. I really appreciate your view, and I would appreciate your like and comment. Specifically your comment to let me know how I am doing and what I can do better for you. So, now since you know that, I'm going to get into the main content of this video. I'm going back to school, and I'm trying to become an accountant. I already went to school once where I tried to become a mathematician, and that didn't work out so well. I got to my senior year and dropped out on the class after Foundations of Mathematics. So Foundations of Mathematics is a course where they teach you how to prove a statement in mathematics, like prove that 2 plus 2 equals 4, prove that the natural numbers are less or not as big as the real numbers, and prove that there's different types of infinities and different sets and stuff like that, and prove Pythagorean theorem, and you're proving stuff that you learned in mathematics, and you have to use logic, and logic is like false, true, true, false. If A implies B and A is true, and then is B true, and stuff like that. I got a C in that class. Then I continued on after that to go to my proof of calculus class, which is a class that goes over calculus. It goes over the continuity theorems and ruler theorems and the real number system and the quotient rule, not rules, but Q field, whatever that's called, rational field. And it basically constructs the number system so that way you can look over derivatives and continuity and stuff like that. And I flunked. I gotta say, if you're trying to go into mathematics, which is exactly the video I wanted to make today, is I wanted to talk about mathematics and what it really is. You got to be prepared to really put some time and effort into preparing for more than arithmetic. So when the average person thinks of mathematics, they think, oh, so I need to be able to do calculus really well, or I need to be able to do algebra really well. Doing x squared plus 2x plus 2 and figuring out the solutions to that problem, which I don't believe that there is a straight up solution to that problem, or straightforward solution. You would have to use quadratic equation, the quadratic formula. But to do stuff like that, that's not mathematics. That's algebra. That's geometry. That's calculus. That's not mathematics. Mathematics is completely different. And as a matter of fact, I could take a picture of my old notes and show you what mathematics is. It's a bunch of symbols and stuff, and understanding the logistics and the stuff that is behind all that is mathematics. Studying, for example, how a number field is mathematics. Studying for the deformation of an object is mathematics. It's more than just numbers and equations. It's a lot more than that. And if you're thinking about going into mathematics or being a mathematics professor, you got to be ready to take these classes that are going to challenge you and challenge the definitions of mathematics and challenge what you think is true. For example, maybe you're in high school now and you're going through your schooling career and you're like, man, this calculus is easy. Trust me, it gets harder. Maybe you got the differential equations and you didn't really understand what you were doing. You will later. And I gotta say, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And if you're thinking that you're just gonna scoot on by from being a mathematician, you might. You very well might. But in the long run, I think that most people who do mathematics think that it's all about arithmetic. At least that's what I thought. So I thought I was going to have an easy time, and I did not have an easy time in college. Like, I got to my senior year or my junior year, and I started getting into proofs. That's when I started getting C's and like D's and stuff like that. And every single arithmetic class or algebra class, where we use algebra or matrices or equations, those were easy. I got straight up A's in those classes. No problem whatsoever. Never had to study, nothing. But then I got to the proofs. And man, oh man, they kicked my butt. And even my logic courses kicked my butt, I'm just not good at proving a statement. I'm not good at proving myself and showing that I'm correct. I'm good at doing the actual thing that gets you the number and gets you the result. But I'm not good at proving my results. I'm not good at keeping logs. I'm not good at, going back and understanding why something is correct. But I can derive it on my own using formulas and experiments, but I can't prove it using definitions. Like, for example, I can't prove that the square root of 2 is irrational. I really can't. I know that the square root of 2 is, to prove that it's irrational, you have to prove that it can't be a form of a over b. And that's difficult for me because I can do it if I put the time into it now. But when I was in college, I didn't even understand that proof, and that's one of the most basic proofs that they teach you in college. And like, for example, you would say that a over b is a rational number, and you would say that if the square root of 2 is a rational number, it has to take the form of a over b, because you got to think about it. You got to think about the definition of a number. You can represent 1, 2, 3, the natural numbers, as in 2 over 1, 1 over 1, 3 over 1. You can define the quotients, like the fractions, as 1 over 1, 1 over 2, 1 over 3, repeating, and then 2 over 1, 2 over 2, 2 over 3, repeating. And you can do that all the way over. So, like, when you really think about the size of the rational numbers, or the quotient numbers, I guess I'm going to call them, the quotient field, I don't know what you call it really, I forgot. But if you think about the size of that set versus another set called like the natural numbers, you really start to understand that there's different types of infinities. And like there's an infinite amount, but when you really get down to it, the definition of infinity means that it continues forever and ever, which it does. But if you can count it more than once, then doesn't that mean it's larger than infinity? And then that brings up the question, like, what comes after infinity? Because obviously, you can continue to grow at an exponential rate, but that doesn't mean that you can't grow faster than an exponential rate. The fastest growing equation on Earth. And I gotta say that, you can become an undefined line where you just jump from 0 to 1,000,000. You know what I mean? And I mean, like, growth is something that goes up, and there's something past infinity. And to prove all that kind of stuff is just mind blowing, and it's very difficult to understand. And getting back to what I was saying about the square root of 2 being irrational, you have to prove that a over b is not something that the square root of 2 comes as. And I forgot exactly how to do it. Because you take probably you do like a times b is, I don't know. I just don't know. Because like if a over b is equal to the square root of 2, then b times the square root of 2 is equal to a. And a is, I don't know. I just don't know how to do it. And that's what I was getting at, is that I'm not good at doing that kind of stuff. And I mean, I'm trying to learn it again, and I got to go in my book and I got to like prove these things and like retake the class. And when I tried to retake the class at NC State, the advisors told me that I couldn't do it. They literally did not give me the option to retake the class that I did so very badly in, and caused me to do badly in the calculus-based proofs course. Because in the course that I'm talking about, the one that for the foundations of mathematics, they teach you about proofs, and it's the first class where you learn about it. When I was going into the class, I thought, wow, this is easy. I just prove my numbers. Okay, I can do that all day. And it was simple stuff, But that simple stuff was getting you ready for the harder stuff. And when you get to the harder stuff, you're just like, what? Like, I got to the point where I'd open up my book and I couldn't do the first problem, and that's a problem. Minus irony, but it's a freaking problem when you can't do the first problem in your book. And I tried getting a tutor, and my tutor I had to pay him $40 an hour to tutor me, and I still didn't get it. And it was just difficult to understand. And now I have the books on my shelf, and I'm thinking about making videos about it. And I want to know if anyone's interested in hearing me out and learning with me, because I'm teaching my fiance right now how to do chemistry. And after this video, I'm about to go make some PowerPoints for her, so that way she can learn chemistry, so that way when she goes back to college with me next semester, which is actually starting on the 19th, she can feel confident about taking chemistry. And just because of that, I think that, that school is a lot harder than what you may think it's going to be. If you're a gifted student, that doesn't mean that you're going to go through school with no problems. And I'm just warning you right now, if you want to go to school, you have to put the time and effort in. You can't just go to school and expect to just do well without doing any of the work. And anyways, that's all the time we got for now. So if you're interested in this, let me know. I'll make some more commentaries. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see more, make sure to like and comment on the video. Let me know how I did. I'd like to hear from you. So, let me hear from you. Give me a sign. I don't see that sign. Anyways, peace out, guys. Y'all take it easy.